What does DBL stand for?
So Doppler velocity
Doppler
log.
velocity logger.
And the analogy is
Okay.
if you hear a train go by and he's tooting his whistle while he goes by, you hear the sound kind of come closer and go farther away. That's kind of how the DVL works with the sound on the but 4 different beams.
Same concept as an ADCP, is
It
it?
is a downward facing ADCP actually,
Okay.
so it's a frequency shift. You can extrapolate velocity from that.
And the other one, UVL or UBL?
USBL is ultra short
USBL.
baseline, and that's the baseline is how close the transceivers are to each other. So ultra short baseline, there's 3 transceivers in the hull of the ship that are really close together, and they use the phase difference of the signal, the acoustic signal returned by the vehicles to identify the range and bearing to the ship.
Okay. So that's right, Di. When you guys go out,
Am I melling?
so
Oh, okay.
what with Mary's group, this is what you did. You were the one who sort of did the high pack and made sure that
Yeah, we didn't have high pack, but yeah, I was the navigator sort of.
yes. Yeah.
So we were tracking in real time via the USBL signal in ArcGIS.
Right.
Which is, so it was similar to high pack in that way, but yeah, and then
They both pan
in later
with the,
dives
how do you pan this one?
we were
Gotta
able
select pan up here.
able to get a
It's the one 2 over from the one that's currently selected.
That's great.
Yeah, and then you drag it like you're dragging the page. Yeah.
later we were able to get a
hidden again.
DVL and
Thank
ring
you.
laser gyro and have
Oh,
much
right.
more accurate tracking.
Sample.
What happened to the Delta submersible? Because it's not functioning anymore, is it?
No, yeah, I don't know where it is exactly.
Can I still change
but,
my heading with auto head?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just slower. Sorry,
Yeah.
wrong way.
The little yellow dot.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
kind of like if you
Moves
go
to-
past it, it'll like snap in too.
Yeah. I just have been finding that my heading keeps changing. I don't know if that's the current or what, or if it's just the operator.
No,
Ooh.
it's hard to fly a forklift in a straight line.
It's good imagery.
That's what it's like because it turns in the back, right?
Yeah.
The front wheels don't turn, the back wheels do.
Well, this is going on for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, how far do we make it on our move? We still got like 50 meters left.
So from
No,
our
100.
last sample, where does it give you the?
We're like 100 meters or so from the previous track.
How do I get the range and bearing?
That's
Left
the,
click or right?
it's right click and then it's in the bottom left right there will be your range and bearing.
What? I have to.
Or sorry, it's the, yeah, it's left click, a normal click, and you just drag it. There you go, and then it's,
Oh, I see. It's
yeah,
little
super
numbers.
tiny, very, very small. Although I found out from Sam that she was like, I thought you guys were just eyeing it up. Yeah. That
Or
we're being fed secret numbers.
This is great.
So
We're
the
able
DVL
to-
is quite behind right now. We could probably do a DVL reset.
oh yeah.
Oh, is it actually operating? I thought it was.
It's
like,
intermittent, so I have 4 beams at the moment, but
See, you ready for it?
yeah, I'm all out.
I just hit reset DVL here.
Yeah, and then it'll window will pop up and
Are you sure you want to reset the DVL?
yeah. There we go. So now the green line should start to draw where I am.
You do
Right now it's set so Herc is on the USBL fix though. That's why we're tracking along so well. But the jump
Good.
there in the
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Oh, they talk to each other.
Yeah. They're all talking.
So we're 75 meters from where we took the sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just drop some waypoints along the way saying dead
We're
Ferrea
still
Reef.
here.
Yeah, dead
Yeah,
Ferrea,
That's a good
continuing.
idea.
Ferrea Reef continues,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Jeez, how do
yeah,
I do
that'd
that?
be great.
Double click.
clicking.
Double click and then edit the name. Oh, look at that hagfish sticking out of that hole.
Oh yeah. Pop goes the
Oh.
weasel.
Name is
Just
Yeah.
Ferrea continues.
F-A-R-R-E-R-A.
Yeah, sure. I don't know the spelling. I've been guessing it too.
F-A-F-A-R-R-E-A.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Getting
just
it
get rid of
right.
that last
Spelled it
R.
right.
Ferreira?
Manual,
2 R's.
manual depth. Wow, 564. Sorry, I talk to myself when I'm talking to the computer.
Steve, let's see if we can zoom.
Does
I
it-
know I'm far away, but I don't want to
Does,
get crunchy.
does the computer respond?
What are you doing in
Usually
there?
not.
Ridiculous.
Sassy hagfish.
It's like they were in that yellow sponge too. It's
It
like
was
they're
like 5 in that one.
Yeah.
itching themselves,
Yeah.
cleaning
Probably a lot.
themselves off.
All right, you can come away. Far away.
Never seen one in a boot sponge or a shaggy dog sponge.
I think we just saw that encrusting boa scarf coral, as we called it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was next to the hag.
Those sticks
So
are
we've got
proportional.
a little under half an hour.
We're still going on this thing.
No end in
Yep.
sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great though. The farther we can go before we have to come up, the better
Yeah.
to get a good idea of the extent.
Wow. Yeah.
Which I have a feeling we're never going to get to the end of it. We'll
Right.
have to
Well,
No,
that'll
here's
be
another
good.
wall
keep
of it coming.
going.
Yeah.
That.
Maybe it just follows along that white backscatter.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
That's
Look at it far off in the farther
pretty
off.
incredible.
Wow.
Isn't it?
You could tilt down just a hair with your
I can do.
camera.
Yeah, you take care of it. Thanks. Are these some clams down here? Whoa.
Well, that's what I was wondering what that shell rubble is. It looks like
Yeah, I've seen that a few times
clam.
in the sediment
Maybe one more,
patches.
Jake.
Roger.
Yeah. One more.
You can tilt down just a bit for now while we're looking at this thing.
Yeah, that's
Zoom in. What kind of shell? Those are brachiopods, maybe? The different. Can't tell if it's a different shell though.
somebody was
It looks
having
like-
lunch there.
Yeah.
Well, around them are these still more of those file clams
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Daniel
French
was
sniff.
had identified?
Yeah, hold position, please.
Thanks, Dan. All right, you can come wide. I'll
Go wide.
get ahead again.
Here, I'll tilt up for you. Sorry.
Thanks, Jake.
You're doing like 0.7 there.
I was?
Yeah.
I will go slower.
There's a jelly, pretty red one.
Yeah, that
that's
is pretty.
going by. This looks more like a creek bed of mud,
Yeah.
lots of shell
Yeah.
fragments, but it still
Mhm.
continues.
Still going. Wow. Bit of a current.
Yeah. Spin to the
We
east.
almost
The
could
whole
have done another,
Yeah.
Yeah, it picked up a bit.
almost
Yeah.
could have done another transect. But it's good that we're at least documenting and putting
Right.
down some points along the way to document that this is continuing.
gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
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 I think it's better that we're not doing a transect
Right.
because
Yeah.
we just have more freedom to
Yeah,
explore how
we
far
can
this
go a
goes.
little faster to see how
Mhm.
far it goes.
Yes, 100 meters at 315, please. 0.3.
Pretty nice. Do a quick zoom there.
Nobody's coming on after us to see this. No one
Little-
will be coming on early.
Look at those little white dots.
Or maybe they will.
It's getting ready to spawn, maybe. How do they spawn? Can you see it, or is it invisible?
I do not know.
Oh yeah.
Do you know, Lisa?
No, I do not know. I know about corals doing sort
Yeah,
of
come wide.
synchronous spawning on coral reefs. You know,
There's a
that's
little
been very
live
well
Berea.
documented.
Why am I so far off to the right and you're facing
Think
315?
the current's pushing you a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm just mean like that. Like you're 315, I'm 315. Maybe you.
But I think Abby said that they can brood their hermaphroditic, but they can also bud off for reproduction, the sponges.
Clone, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Clonal.
Did she say clonal? Yeah, something.
What's
about-
that in the top of Argus?
That
It's
is a
s-
siphonophore.
Siphonophore. Jake's becoming very familiar with siphonophore identification
I haven't noticed
from
that.
in the Argus camp.
Always
Well,
an
they
eye
do
on that,
resemble
right?
lines sometimes.
So does Argus Cam ever pan, or does it only tilt?
It only tilts, but usually you can just use your heading to pan.
That's what I thought. Okay.
It does pan with thrusters.
Look at that.
The single thruster holds up pretty well.
Is it the front or the back?
It's the
The back,
back.
it's working.
The back one's working.
I guess it doesn't really matter. Just curious.
And the
Curiosity.
back
And-
one probably works harder because it's between the pivot point and the tether.
I was thinking of a canoe, how it's easier to steer from the back, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that's a good analogy or not.
I think so.
So how does the technology tell like you that there are a certain number of wraps in the tether? Like I see that here. It says like half
The
back.
compass keeps track of the heading, so you're basically zeroing your, if there was if you had an analog compass and there was a little needle you could move around, so you would move the needle to some point, and then as the compass moves, you would see how far away it is from the needle. So it's doing that digitally for us. So we zero it on some certain heading, and it just counts how far we've turned. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Flatfish over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big one.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a deep sea sole.
Mm.
They're kind of plate shaped. They're big and round. That's a good one. Good size. I heard the World Series game. I always think of home plate when I see them. The World Series game last night was pretty exciting, I hear. It wasn't the little bit that I watched, and then apparently it got very exciting after I went to bed.
My sister told me about it.
Yeah. So is that more of the sponge that we just collected that we went over?
I saw at the
down
bottom of the
below?
Yeah,
screen.
it
Very
looks like
Yeah.
a pom-pom shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Let's leave it there.
We've done
Yeah,
enough.
Don't want to destroy another one.
I've done enough here.
I was like, I didn't even want to bring it up. Like, didn't see it.
Duly noted. And then we've been seeing more of those clusters of, I call them pipe organ, or I don't know if that's what the common name is, but they're like clusters of pipes. Well, here's one that's a single little pipe in front of us.
Is it my imagination, or is there suddenly more sponges?
Certainly a lot.
I'd say close to what we've been seeing, but maybe a little bit more.
My attempt at a
More
half
and
pirouette.
smaller, maybe.
Nice pirouette.
Is there more current here?
Feels like it.
Maybe more
But I
current,
don't know
more
if-
sponges?
I'm just making that
Yeah.
up.
That yellow just is amazing.
I don't know. I had practically no current on that transect. I was just
Oh my, look at how many. Yeah, Dan, I think you're right. There are more.
Another cat shark. Wow.
It's kind of baffling about the colors in an environment where there's usually no light.
Yeah. Is that live Ferreira down below? Looks like.
Well, we may
Mm-hmm.
have reached an extent.
You just gotta,
Oh, it's the extent. I'm sure it keeps going.
matches up pretty well with the backscatter, right?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it keeps going along that bend.
Is that some Paragorgia or what is that?
Well, yeah, it looks like it. They
Falling
got
over.
knocked over. And
See our extent here.
I see more sponges off in the distance.
Yeah, I'll try
Like
Oh,
it
that.
must
Paragorgia.
pick up
Corals,
again.
too.
I drop a waypoint here.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could
Now
say-
we're getting into coral.
You could
Yeah.
say it's the extent. Or, yeah, Berea extent, unless we see more. Oh, miles away from the
Anticipation
seafloor.
is killing me right now.
I know, right?
Rare extent coral begins.
Sure. Saw a couple.
573.
Yeah, I think it's
So
okay.
if it doesn't pick up pretty quick, it seems like, to our best of our knowledge, that was that edge
Yeah.
that could be marked.
It is. That current keeps tipping my heading. Messing me up. Just lateraling over
Oh.
here.
these siphonophores. They're nonstop.
Yeah, well, we could call that the extent and try to double back in the last 10 minutes if you want.
Sounds good.
Go
Sure.
maybe south
And-
or something.
Bridge. Now.
Or Did you get a mark at that, near that edge that we thought might
Hold
be the
position,
extent?
please.
Yeah, he did.
Would it make sense to
Okay.
like track along the edge?
Yeah, follow the edge.
Yeah, we can try that. See
Yeah,
what my
change direction to follow.
Yeah, because there seemed to be, I don't know what heading that was, but for my
I'll come down. I think
left
I was
hand
pulling you a bit.
It's
to
all
the
right, I gotta
left.
figure out what I'm doing here.
To the left, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll be facing upslope a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like something there.
But you could see sort of where it ended to the left.
Yep.
Seemed like there, as we were saying, that there were corals sort of in the distance.
Yeah.
And we were getting out of the whitest part of the backscatter.
Could you reset the
Yeah.
DVO and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Ready?
Yep. And then switch that to dead rec. Yeah.
Dead rec.
Yeah. That'll do it.
What is that? That puts the DVL back in?
That just puts my the vehicle where the dead rec position is. Instead of I had the vehicle where the USVL hits were. Alright, so where's this extent
But it's
here?
still on
Now
USVL, right?
It's still using dead rec now, so I can use dead rec positioning, and it's all because I have 4 beams at the moment.
Believe it's up to the left a little bit.
Up to the left, yeah.
So that means it's tracking on the DVL.
Yeah, that's the green line starting there.
Yeah, I think that's the
Oh yeah, that's the one that we saw, right?
Yep.
Right, so I want to go around it.
Yeah.
There we go. Back at it. Well, Dan,
Yeah,
you can
here's
put
some nice
Argus wherever you think
Paragorgia.
need to be.
That changed it here when we did that.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of talking to me.
So is that dead for Pharea or is that rock to the left?
Looks like the Pharea again in the lower left.
You can do a quick zoom.
Yeah.
You can see the texture.
I saw Paragorgia.
Yeah, straight ahead is definitely more dead Pharea, yeah.
Can you have the same waypoint so I can do another for
Yeah,
extent?
yeah, for that something like that.
Is that legal?
Yeah, that's legal. Sorry, Steve, I'm giving you a zoom or a focus joyride over there when I'm pirouetting around this thing.
It's all good.
Yeah,
All right,
573.
can zoom out. See if I can get back to the extent here.
There it is, huh?
Yeah. Maybe
Looks like it's off to the left or
yeah, so I'm now coming south down along it, facing east.
Which way are you moving?
You could come south with Argus, I think. That ought to.
How far you want to go? 50?
Yeah, we're not gonna have too much
Yeah,
time.
we have about, what, 5 minutes before we gotta come up?
yeah.
Bridge now.
Yeah, south looks like you're getting more in the lighter portion of the
50
backscatter.
meters, bearing 180.
Yeah, it is just continuing,
Yeah.
particularly in the white reflectance area.
Yeah, I'm kind of drawing around it there.
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's all, the bulk of it is all to the east, which yeah, totally makes sense with the slope and the backscatter, that little ridge there.
Yeah, it does.
It's always nice when that matches up.
And the west, does the light color look like it extends to the west as well, to the south and west?
Yeah, it
On the
does.
map?
So we'll see
Yeah,
how far I end up going with it.
cool. Yeah, we don't have much time left. But anyway, we got a lot farther than they were before. Man, I can see people coming back here
Oh yeah,
Wow,
definitely.
yeah.
to study this a lot
Yep.
more.
Yeah, and it's at 500 meters, so we don't have to use
Thing's a little
five-
wiggly.
570. We could
Yeah.
use other assets. Because after this, the
But this
Nautilus
one's-
is moving to the Pacific Island region, correct?
We do have half of the
After-
season in this region. We have half the season next year. We'll be on the U.S. West Coast, and then it's not till around August that we go to Hawaii.
Oh,
How sweet is that?
Yeah. I'm just around the extent
Normally
here
when-
rather than driving through it. Just kind of
Mm.
drawing an extent around.
mm-hmm.
Too much.
Look at that paragrosha tipped over.
Oh yeah.
That was just a good look at the end of the siphonophore.
Really, like you can
Oh, I
see in
see.
Argus, I'm really at the edge of it. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
blank behind me.
It seems like the most, well, seems like an efficient way to kind of map the size of it to me.
Yeah, we've done that before where we kind of drive around the extent of a shipwreck or something like that, and we kind of know where it is and can measure it out a bit better that way.
I've spelled Ferrara 3 different ways.
That's fine. I think for the most part, that's what Taylor ends there for. These are just like rough nav, or they're the nav targets. You get one or the other. You either get precision in targeting or in text.
How's it really spelled? 2 R's, ERA?
There's no, that last R isn't in there. It's F-A-R-R-E-A.
Faria.
Faria, Faria.
F-A-R-R-E-A.
Ferrari.
It looks like Ferrari.
Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Close though. I wouldn't have known how to spell it unless I saw it spelled somewhere, so. I'm always asking people how to spell
Ferreira.
things.
E-A, right?
Yeah, just get rid of that R, yeah.
Perfect.
That one I put
You don't have to
E-R-E.
fix them all. He's gonna fix them all.
F-E-R-R-E-A.
That's okay.
Ferrari. Ferreira.
So you're a bit upslope, but I think you're fine. You're still
Yeah.
at 15 meters off deck.
Here's that sponge.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll be collected.
I came down a bit to just
There's
to
a
give you a
bunch-
little more
There's a bunch of it.
Nice.
room to roam.
Now you can see we're kind of catching the edge of it here. We're still going south. Am I at the extent? Am I to,
Yeah, it's pretty close.
yeah.
If you keep coming this way, you'll probably be fine.
Okay, I can drive into it. We don't have to be.
I think I'm still moving, so you should be fine.
Yeah, you're moving. So. And I think it kind of goes in a bit here anyway.
All the same depth. 5 meters left on the move.
Roger. Thank you.
Well,
That'll be
time's
it.
just about up too, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Really getting a good sense of the extent. It could really,
Yeah.
this lobe of it really kind of sticks out.
See some of the rocks too, then it's
Kind of funny. It really just, it's either there or it isn't. That's it. There's not a lot of in between. Kind of at the fringe edge of it here. See what we can. Kind of. It's really hard to follow it, and like I'm just realizing how much my heading is changing as I'm following it.
You
Yeah.
want to come the other way on Argus, Jake?
Yeah, it's 6-8, so.
Yeah, Raj.
All right, is it time?
It's, yep.
Yeah.
17 past.
Should we all switch position?
You can run it out there.
Am I okay to turn
So
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
before we go, should we trigger a Niskin? Or are we going to trigger some on our way back up?
We have
What would
3
you?
left, I think.
3 left.
Yeah, we have 3 left.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick 360 running just to get my wraps.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive out.
So you want to trigger one before we leave bottom, do you?
Yes. Yes,
Will that
that would be
take-
great.
Yeah.
Go
If
ahead.
there's time.
Yeah.
You wanna switch around, Dan?
Jake can trigger one on the fly if you rack back.
Okay.
Just,
And then has one been,
hold on, have a look at that
Yeah.
tether there. Hold what you got there, Rennie. for a
Roger.
second.
Go ahead, Di. What did you want to say?
has one been getting
Just sneak
taken on
ahead
the way
easy.
up for Taylor Ann, or I've noticed there's been one at like 50 meters off the bottom?
Yeah, like I don't, I can take from any of these that have been taken at the bottom. And then I would just like one at 250 meters.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what we
keep
have.
coming
We'll
ahead
take
easy.
one here, at 200 and at 50.
Sounds good.
Yay.
I just saw the tether doing something weird. Oh, it looks okay.
Yeah, I think it was just because I was spinning around
Yeah,
and we were on top of each other.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna wanna zoom out, Steve. I think I'm racked back. So.
Yep.
And over.
You show him the manip, that'll make it easier.
I
for
can
him.
show myself some.
Jake's getting it, doing the blind. Come out. Knows where it is.
Turn your auto heading off on Argus, or I can do that.
Okay.
So do you do an off bottom target here? Or?
There's a event log. But first we'll double click and we'll do a Niskin.
Oh yeah.
So wherever Herc is.
Orange.
Orange is 4?
Whichever 4 is, I can't see.
4 is orange.
Yeah.
Turn the porch light on quick.
Orange.
Ready?
Sorry.
Just in front, right in front of you, right there.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Oh,
Just
striking.
sorry, just put Niskin for it.
That you just do NA123-146.
Three.
Oh, this is 146?
2,
Dash or
1,
underscore?
Niskin.
Underscore.
Yeah.
It went.
146.
146.
And then at the notes you put Niskin 4.
Yep.
Oop, Minkin. What?
Niskin. Niskin 4.
I can type. Niskin 4.
Yeah.
In the depth.
And that's the one nearest the bottom?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
You want that in the notes, or
That's good. That's all good. So I don't know how to get set up into proper vertical velocity and all. We can switch if you want.
yeah, you just basically fly out to the end of your tether.
Yeah.
That's off bottom.
Yeah, so then that little JavaScript icon at the bottom.
That's great.
2 in from that. Yeah, that's the one. Drop down the event and just on the, it says event.
Right here.
Yeah, there's a drop down
Oh yeah.
off bottom.
Ah, slick.
Yeah.
And then submit.
Yep. All right.
That's it.
So I got some forward way on. And what do I set my verse to? Peg him?
Yeah.
Turn your joy gain all the way up, right? Isn't that what you do?
What's this guy here? Yeah.
Turn that all the way up. Where do I see that?
And then the top left of the blue box, you see
Oh,
it?
also up there too, yeah.
Okay.
But
And then also if you, up there on the screen, if you hit
Yep.
that 0 Z bias button.
Okay.
Yeah. Then full up and maybe 20% ahead.
Pull up.
And then Jake should match on the...
Head.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Totally.
All right. Let me see what else I got to do.
All right. Got your list there. Oh, crud. I'm still attached.
Did your headset pull you back?
Dan got to the end of his leash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally into my leash. At least I didn't swear.
So Taylor, and you'll know when we need to take the the next Niskin on the way up. Is that right?
Yeah, 200
I don't know
and
where.
50. And yeah,
Okay,
I can
at
see it.
200 meters.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the depth. I wasn't sure if it was 200 meters off the bottom or at
Oh,
200
no.
meters.
Yeah, 200 meters.
Just a while to go.
15 meters a minute.
15?
Or we need to come faster to, we can always drop a weight. 35 minutes. What's that? Right.
Sorry, I was on mute. We got 35 minutes.
Keep your eyes peeled for another swordfish.
Probably squeeze a little more out if we do the Jess
Oh, yeah,
Sandoval lateral trick.
Yeah,
That was
I got that
Jess's
from,
trick?
I got that from Trevor. I don't know
Trevor?
if he got it from Jess or if it was
Yeah.
vice versa.
That was Jess. I didn't
What-
believe it till I saw it.
Right.
So what is it?
If you put in just about 25% lateral, it appears to deflect the lateral flow from the starboard, or the vertical flow from the starboard thruster off of the starboard sample box, and gives us another couple meters a minute on the ascent rate,
Oh,
which adds up
so
over, you
Flow
know.
kind of moves around it instead of going
That's,
directly into the box.
well, that's the theory. I don't know if that's actually what's happening. I just know if you put in a little lateral, it comes up faster. The engineers come up with some other theories. Our lead mechanical engineer, Trevor.
Yeah.
so probably something with flow dynamics, making it
is.
more
Yeah, something.
less of an eddy or.
What he can explain is it doesn't matter which way you lateral, you still get another meter or two a minute. So
Maybe it's just the flow moving around just the top of the vehicle. I don't know.
I suspect the vehicle's kind of sliding through the water like a plate
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than
Cutting
flat
through it.
up.
rather than deflecting
Yeah.
the flow out of the thruster.
So it's leading with like a corner instead of a flat edge.
What's that?
Is it like leading with a corner then instead of a flat edge more?
Yeah, I think so. You're, instead of pushing the plywood
You're
Yeah.
knifing
straight
through it.
up
Yeah.
through the water, you're kind of sliding it sideways.
So maybe.
Yeah, or with the pointy end rather than with a, you know, a
Water, yeah,
Would
water
be-
kind of flows through the side of the vehicle better than it does the vertical
yeah.
So-
direction.
Yeah,
Do the lateral thrusters operate independently or always in tandem?
they're in tandem.
So you couldn't put them both
Roger.
in. You can't put them both against each other in. Does that make sense?
It does give us another 2 meters a minute, though. Which cuts our time by 5 minutes. Or something like that.
What depth do we tell the bridge that we're coming up?
We usually do half an hour call out, which is now, so that's why Rennie just disappeared to we'll make sure the
Okay.
deck foreman is up and about.
What were the Niskins again? 250 and 50 we were going to do?
250.
250?
200
You're gonna
meters
park that
and
thing
50 meters.
so it's
Sorry, just to make sure.
Oh, the
maybe we can compromise and stick it where it doesn't occlude the porch from coming out, but it's still not sticking down. That should do it. Is there, what's in the front box?
Let's see. Light bulb sponge, an A, and the bivalves that we were seeing with the orange tissue, and a sponge associate in box B.
Roger. Yeah, tuck it back in a little bit there. That was good where you had it. I don't want
I think it's on that weight.
yeah, it probably should be above the weight,
Yeah.
because if we did go lights out for some reason, those are meant to drop out.
Nope. There we go.
Can't tell. Looks like fun. Wrist.
It's going to hit
So our next,
wrist
we have
right,
one
it'll
more
go up.
dive.
Yeah,
Oh.
we do. It's a shallow one.
Yeah, on the north side of Santa Cruz Island. It'll be an 8-hour dive. So
I was just doing
we
the
will be
maps
the
for
la-
that one.
yeah, and we'll be the last watch.
Yeah.
I think we start at 120 meters, encounter a steep shelf, get to the top, and it's 80 meters.
Yeah. Oh, so the dive plan says 180s. Maybe it's
Oh,
shallower.
yeah. No, I think you're right.
It
Just was going off
starts at
memory.
180 and then it goes pretty much straight to 90 and then from 90 to 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
But it's
faster, right?
mostly to
I
Likely to
slowed down a
be a
bit.
lot of mud.
I was getting up there with Delta,
yeah.
like 20,
Yeah.
20 plus meters.
Oh, yeah. I always get that backwards.
I know, I think I did increase it like 10 minutes ago.
It'd be interesting to see the light at 90
Ambient
meters.
light,
Yeah, the
yeah.
ambient light. And also how much kind of stuff is in the water column at that depth. Sometimes you get lucky and it's bright and clear.
A 90-meter dive?
Yeah, start at 180 and then climb a quick wall shelf.
Above going to be like a
Sounds
cat,
like fishing gear
long-tailed cat
bonanza.
in a room at rocking chairs.
It's just north of this island, so.
Yeah, he wants to ground truth some newly mapped data, mapping some
See how
new
long it's
mapping
gonna
data.
take to get there.
Yeah.
And some
Right there.
sediment core samples, which
What's scuba diving depth nowadays?
Don't know.
For recreational divers?
Max is like
60, and it's 60 feet.
Yeah.
yeah.
For scientific diving, yeah.
60 feet?
Although yeah.
Or recreational. I don't know what.
But at the NOAA divers, they're also using more and more mixed
The nitrox stuff.
gases. Yep.
Or what do
Yep.
they get down to then?
I want to say like 200 feet or something, right? I don't know
I
though.
don't know.
Not for NOAA scientific divers, but it just means you can dive for longer.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be a question for Tom. He's a scientific
Yeah.
diver for NOAA.
Right.
I have no clue.
But I don't.
I just got certified
What bridge,
AUS
Nav?
science diving, but the deepest I've gone is 100 feet.
Wow.
And we
but
couldn't be
here-
down there
yeah.
for very long because it wasn't nitrox diving. It was just regular hole diving.
And from what I can
Where
tell, a lot of the West Coast NOAA divers don't really do nitrox diving because it extends the time that you can be in the water, but it's just too cold.
Yeah, it's very cold down there.
You want to get out,
Yeah.
even with wearing a dry suit.
I think our bottom time was like maybe 8 minutes. We finally got down there.
Where were you?
Just off of Catalina.
Oh,
The Wrigley USC Science Station is where we had our training.
and it's warmer here than it is.
Yeah, and
A
that
little
was in
farther
January
north.
too, though. So it was a little colder in January, but
hmm
yeah, still warmer than the Midwest.
So Taylor, and
Well,
where do
this
the
was-
rock samples get sent to? Ooh, that was
The
interesting.
data log?
No, rocks. ROCKS.
Oh, the rock samples. So it depends who's interested in them. If nobody, like none of the scientists are expressing interest, we send them to GSO.
And who's
and
that?
I have no idea.
That's the University of Rhode Island Graduate School of Oceanography. They have
Thank
a rock
you.
repository there.
Thank you, because I was looking at the sample log and I thought I need to ask somebody what GSO stands for.
Yeah, that's all I
Okay.
knew. It's
It's pretty cool in
the
there.
labeling.
Big sheet metal building with just like stacked like
Cores
5
and-
meters high of just
Yeah,
samples and samples and samples and core tubes and just endless core tubes.
yeah, it's quite a.
But this is at URI, you said.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And I figured out, I looked at the CSU. I thought CSU, and then I looked at the samples. And I thought, oh, they're all for Taylor Ann.
Yeah, there's no N on the end there, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So Dan, the wind and current are coming from that direction, kind of like near where the island is. But they're pretty light. It's only 5 knots of wind and half knot of current. So we
Yeah,
can-
he's thrusting really hard to port.
Yeah, to hold that. I could change the heading to point there. I just don't know. Yeah, I suppose we've got some distance before.
When I went out for my cookie break there, I noticed that was
Bridge nav. It also depends on if there's any swell, but Can we change heading to 300? Would that be a good heading for recovery for swell? If there is any? Yeah, thanks. I think it's fine. It's pretty pool-like out there.
Who's up there now?
Vitali.
What's that?
Vitali.
Yeah.
I think for them, for the most part, this is fine for them, but for us, that current could matter, you know?
Yeah, he was thrusting pretty good. So
Yeah.
that'll make it easier to get a goal, because you can see right now it's
Raj.
swinging around to the south there. So
And once we made that heading change, I'll string forward. So that's the degrees per minute.
what's that?
That's the degrees per minute that we're
Change it.
changing heading.
Di, we can really go to bed because there won't be anything to watch after this.
He's using the
Oh,
bow
I just
thruster
know
to do that.
a swordfish
Yeah.
is going to swim through it any time.
No, no,
Wake
I meant
everybody up.
after our watch. You know, we won't have
Oh,
to.
yes. Right.
Because typically after, so it goes to the next watch and we continue to watch.
Yeah.
Really should have.
Yeah.
So your guys' watches are, we talked about this before and I didn't quite catch it all. You all on the Nautilus have 8-hour shifts, is that right? 8 hours
Two
continuous?
4-hour watches. So we're the 12 to 4. We
2,
do
4.
both 12 to 4 a.m. and 12 to 4 p.m.
Okay, like we're doing, but then you said you were still sort of working.
We have some off
In between
watch
those.
tasks, yeah, definitely depending on the
Yeah.
department and the role in the department.
Yeah,
And
like
so when do you sleep?
That's a good question.
in between those times.
Because if you have other tasks, it's like there's only 8 hours in between those 2 4s, as
Yeah.
you know.
I try to do my quote
And,
unquote big sleep between 5 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I try to do too, unless we have samples come up at 4.
So that's like 6 hours, and then
Yeah.
aim for a 1-hour nap somewhere later in the day, but doesn't always work out that way.
I try to sleep as much as possible, and I'm still tired.
Yeah, Dan does. It seemed, from what it sounded like, you kind of do half and half, right?
It depends on what we're doing.
Yeah.
If we're turning the vehicles around, it's depending on what we have to do. It's kind of courteous to stick around for a couple hours, or if there's maintenance, then we usually stick around until the next watch comes on. So
Yeah.
that's where the
Mm-hmm.
8-hour thing comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I usually plan on an 80-hour work week.
Yeah, an offshore
Yeah.
week's typically 84 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my. So when will you have a day sort of leave or between our
With
cruise?
COVID concerns, we can't leave the ship, but normally we do have a port stop, and we still work for, you know, a bit of those days, but usually there's, you know, a few hours off at night and in the evenings.
Yeah, then we work 8 to 8.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I guess I was trying to figure out, is there a way for you to get catch up a little bit on your sleep and get a little bit of a
Sometimes, yeah.
It
normalcy in there?
messes me up because your body gets really used to the two sleeps a day, you know,
Yeah.
the 2 runs a day. So, and it's
Anything that changes the routine messes you up, I suppose.
Yeah, personally, I find that when you get on this rotation, this 2 watches a day, you get tired after, you know, being up for like 6 hours, where at home you're up for 12 to 14 hours, and then you get a long sleep. So you get used to the 2 sleeps. And then when we change to day ops, that we call it, then it messes your routine up, so you don't really get a full night's sleep even though you have the opportunity to.
It's gonna be interesting next leg.
What's that?
Figure out,
Because we're switching over to the 12-hour ops next leg.
Yeah, it takes a couple days for me at least. Like when I go home, I'll be boing. Okay, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, when I go home, I can't sleep more than 6 hours straight. But eventually that gives way after a little bit of time.
Right.
Yeah.
But port calls for us can be really, they're a lot like work also, because we're usually getting spare parts we've been waiting for, 9 pallets of stores.
Switching over to the new, like any instrumentation on the ROVs and prepping for the next cruise, wrapping up. Well, the wrapping up of the prior cruise is a big one for at least for the science department, for the mapping department. And then, you know, prepping for the next cruise is big on the ROVs team.
Yeah, you guys have a huge amount of paperwork to do at the end.
Yes.
Get ready for the next
all the
one.
mapping products and planning for the next one, and then Taylor Ann and Steve and Mary, they're back there down in the wet lab preparing things for
Yeah,
shipping,
making sure we have all the samples and things logged and typed up and reports, everything ready to go when people are ready to walk off the ship.
Yeah.
The wet lab always amazes me. It goes from this explosion of equipment and samples to this tidy little pile of boxes and these clean stainless steel countertops.
Almost Niskin time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to stream forward.
Roger.
So Taylor, will you be processing the samples when it comes back up, or does somebody else take over that?
No, it'll be me,
shift?
me, Steve, and Mary will be in there processing for a few hours until we're all done. We've got about, I think, 18 samples tonight. So yeah, we'll be in there for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on how long it takes. But it goes by really quickly. Some nights not. But
the green one?
It's always cool to see what the samples look like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Let's see, what are we on? Second to last one is I believe it's the green one.
Let's get number 5.
Three.
Yeah.
Oh.
2.5.
Go.
2, 1.
There we go.
Niskin.
Niskin fired. That was 147?
I think so.
Niskino 5.
You guys don't have dry ice aboard, do you, Taylor? And how do you keep some of the samples cold?
So we do have 2 fridges in the wet lab, and then we do have a -20 freezer, I think 2, and then a -80 freezer that we can keep some things in if they need to be frozen. So in transit, usually we'll freeze something like to -80 degrees and then put it in a cold shipper with ice packs that have been in there as well.
And all that stuff's aboard right now?